Who was this Frissell?
Damn Frissell. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob.
He mentioned Guillaume?
A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frissell. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this Guillaume abandoned him, and he doesn't want to admit it.
What exactly is a suzerain?
The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They've forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
Do you know anything about the hanged man in the backyard of the Whirling in Rags?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals?
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
But you don't have a problem with the cops?
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
What about police women?
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties.
You better not be implying that women are unfit for field work.
I am merely stating that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain, more challenging tasks than women. Remaining headstrong, making tough decisions on the spot, or even tackling physical obstacles are a few examples of such challenges.
You're a bit of an asshole, aren't you, old man?
There's no point in getting angry at nature, officer. This is just the way we are made.
What makes him so proud?
As René
That
turns
worked?
from you to his partner and back, the medals on his chest rattle and glare. He keeps his spine straight and his ribcage lifted, displaying them proudly.
I did not expect that to work. How many medals are there?
2. The larger one is shaped like a cross, while the smaller medal resembles the sun.
Look at the cross.
A crowned head in front of 2 crossed rifles. The medal hangs from a blue striped triangle. It's the Croix de Bravoure, Cross of Valor. The cross was the highest battlefield decoration in Suzerain's armed forces, awarded for exceptional bravery in the line of duty, in service of King Frissell I.
Look at the sun.
A small blue star inside an orange sun. It has the word Valiance written below. The setting sun was a decoration used to distinguish seasoned combat veterans in service of King Frissell I during the Revolution.
Croix de Bravoure. I wasn't paying attention. And the setting sun. Did you get them for...
For bravery.
not for killing babies, or...
No. We were the last ones to keep all the baby killers and rapists in check. And let me tell you, son, if there hadn't been Royal Carabineers, Revachol might not be standing at all.
Whoa. Sounds like you're about to open the gates of conversation. This man
God.
will literally talk your ear off if you let him wander off to memory lane.
So what did you get the medals for?
For doing my duty in the heat of battle. For looking my mortality in the eye. When men like Gaston here hid in the bushes and shot themselves.
He saved some muddy princeling who foolishly strolled into the front line in his gown of velvet and gold.
You saved a princeling?
It was on the first months of the revolution here in Revachol. Unrest was spreading like wildfire. Marauders had taken most of the Couronne and were getting really ambitious. King Frissell, thought he could end it all in one decisive strike. Sent his cousin, Drisson, to put an end to the unrest. Alas, the young Drisson was all piss and no vinegar, wearing a tunic of purple velvet and cockatiel feathers to battle. Even his rifle was gold-plated, shone from 5 clicks away. Can you imagine the asininity?
Asininity. Interesting. I've heard the term asinine, but I've never heard it, like, in its noun form.
He really despises that Drissant fellow.
Purple velvet tunic. That isn't exactly camel.
To keep the long and bloody story short, Drisson marched us against the partisans in Coron. And when I say marched, I mean made us walk into captured enemy territory, single file, like toy soldiers, while he rode in front on his giant red stallion. The rebels were smart. They let us come real close before opening fire. Suffice to say, it was carnage.
Jesus, must have been a bloodbath. A blood path. What?
I got shot in the left shoulder and went down. Just a flesh wound. But just as I turned over, the prince fell into the mud next to me. He was missing his lower jaw.
Jesus.
Then his horse, driven mad by the noise and smell of gunpowder, stepped on my leg and shattered my knee.
Then what did you do?
I grabbed my sidearm and shot the beast in the head. Then everything went black.
Capitaine Arnoux, le fléau des chevaux.
The bane of horses.
When I came to, it was all over. It was just me and Jolas Drisson, gurgling in the blood-soaked mud right next to me. The dink had taken numerous flesh wounds and lost a lot of blood. But despite missing his jaw, he seemed hesitant to die. Tougher than he looked, that one.
This would never happen to Johnny Law jaw. My jaw is tight.
Right. So I grabbed the prick and started crawling. Kept going until the 59th Cavalry picked us up. Through some miracle, we both survived. And the joyless freak convinced Frissel to give me a medal for not leaving him to die in his own blood. Piece and shit. He was the commanding officer and I was on duty. Just doing my job. Shouldn't hand out medals for that. 13 months later, I received the Sun for distinguished service. It's not worth mentioning.
You sense he's downplaying it. He did a lot more than his duty. More than anyone's duty. It's in his spine, in his billowing breasts, and untarnished self-worth.
Why do you despise Drysant so much?
Because he was a goddamn dandy. Had no business leading men or even being on the battlefield. All he was related. That's it. Royal blood alone doesn't make army commanders. He was a stupid kid, only interested in horses, hairstyles, and man-loving. And 782 Royal Carabineers are dead because of his incompetence.
My God, when I was picturing that in my head, I was picturing like a troop of like 100 men at most. Jesus, all single file. Christ.
Whoa, man-loving? Is that even a word?
Yeah, you're right. I should be upset about that.
It is not.
Sounds like you're being modest, René.
The old carabinier stands quietly like a statue, his features motionless.
What Monseigneur Modesty is not telling you is that he crawled over 7 kilometers before the cavalrymen found him and Drisant. 2 days later that was. And that even while crawling with a mangled half-dead prince on his back, he still managed to murder 3 rebels on his way.
Is that pride in his voice? It's deep down, but maybe even unbeknownst to the man himself, it's there.
This doesn't seem like a good moment to express an opinion. I don't want to risk it.
Bon Dieu. You and Gaston must be related. His blood runs yellow too.
Maybe, but also bear in mind, officer. They don't hand this out for anyone with a service record. Oh no, you have to get shot. Repeatedly. And you need to get your hands bloody too. Really, really bloody.
Do not speak of what you know nothing about, Poltroon. Duty is something you will never understand.
Thank you for the story.
Bah! There were many such stories in those days. Many such men, too. True Revacholians. Men with backbone.
Oh, yes, René, yes. Men were bigger, girls were prettier, and everyone wore the fascia. Lord, please,
What did you just call me?
bring those days back, if you can.
I'm not getting into this with you again. Officer, was there anything else?
You should try to come up with a heroic story of your own. Impress this old soldier.
No, I'm gonna save that. I mean, I got pretty fucking lucky with that previous roll, but I'm not gonna push it. Because if I'm gonna try to impress this old man, I'm gonna impress the shit out of him. So no, I think I'm gonna save that roll for later down the line. Thank you for your time. Alright, so I have to replace that ball that I threw, or the bull that I threw into the ocean. Don't know how I'm gonna go about that. Alright. Hello everyone. I am here back at Disco Elysium, continuing the playthrough and continuing the tradition of getting pretty drunk before playing. So, let's hop back into the mind of this similarly substance-addled detective. What we got going on down here? I hear the distant squall of seabirds. I'm gonna steal this dude's bag. It's my bag now, friend. Where is it? Aha! This plastic bag has frit written on it in a dynamic, forceful manner that implies great prices. As you crack it open, a multi gust of air flies in your face. Smells of yeast and beer. A perfect place for tear. Now, I don't really know what tear is, but from the context, I assume it's detritus. So let's see if we can use this to pick up some trash to sell. What? There we go. Plastic tear. There we go. I'm already making some bank. I won't lie to you all, I'm drunker than I normally am when I record these videos, but you know what, that's okay. $2.03? Sounds like a yes to me. A splatter of bullet holes lines the wall. All of them at least 50 years old or something. Don't quote me on that, but that old guy was saying that the damage has been here for decades and they haven't bothered to repair it. I've been kicked out of every joint in Revachol. Hello there, friend. Come on. The night's still young. I agree with you, mate. It's 12:30 in the afternoon. So long. The ad reads, broken window? Tibbs has windows. I wonder who Tibbs is.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Ah, poor little viewer.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Vandalism.
Probably some kids.
Lieutenant inspects the rigged slot.
A simple but clever solution to ruin in a coin-operated viewer. It took ingenuity.
Look inside.
A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses.
Graffito?
You spell out the word Onuk, written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards.
Aha! A clue! Onuk. You know, that's an anagram of Kuno. Maybe we should ask him if he knows who Onuk is.
That's Kuno on the lens.
Oh, my mistake. I shift my focus to the background.
Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast, studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts. Lanky, weather-worn wooden planks. An X-shaped cross topping its tower.
What?